gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Talk Zone. I'm your host, Adam, and with me today I have a very special guest. He is an open micer like me, scamming his way to the top, trying to make it, trying to be a star in Louisville, Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Lenz?
Yeah, Jon Lenz.
Is that right?
Yeah, people like to put a T in there a lot. Lenz.
Lenz?
I don't know why.
Maybe it's like a Catholic thing,
I
like
guess.
Lent, you know.
Cross, T. Those damn Catholics.
Wait, do you know what that, I've never heard of that last name before. Is that from something?
I have no idea. Never looked into it, and my dad never liked his side of the family.
Yeah.
So, like, for the longest time, I was like, oh, my grandpa's dead to me. And
Yeah.
I found out, oh, he actually is dead to me.
He's no longer alive.
And then my only question was, like, did I miss out on a free week off of work?
Yeah.
I was like, no, he died before he worked at Amazon. I'm like, oh, okay.
You gotta hold it up a little closer.
All right, my bad.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. Now I know what Joe Rogan feels like. You know, because he sounds like a dick when he does it. He's like, oh, fucking put that shit in your fucking face.
No, it's good. Yeah, holding mics, you think you get used to it after doing open mics, but you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, okay, so that's a good place to start. Where how long you been doing open mics?
It'd be a year, like I think November 20th.
Okay.
I was just looking it up the other day.
Okay. So you're not you're not too much further ahead than me.
You've been doing it, yeah.
I started in January.
Cool.
Yeah. How do you like it so far?
It's interesting. I don't know what made me want to do it. Maybe like a midlife crisis or whatever, but it's just...
Are you 56?
No.
Oh.
I'm 34. I'll be 35 at the end of the year, but look how fat I am. Like, that's got to be the midway point. We think I'm making it north of 70. Like, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not making it to 60, that's for sure. I know that shit's right. You know, me too. First of all, me too. I will tell you, I'm also 34. Okay. So that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I just spent the first night ever in the ER last night.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I thought I was having like a heart attack or something.
What was it?
I don't know.
They don't know?
They were like, when did it start happening? I was like, right after I had like $15 worth of Taco Bell for lunch. I think it spiked my sodium levels or something.
I don't know, $15 at Taco Bell at this economy, that's like a combo meal. Like in 90s Taco Bell for $15, you had half the menu.
Yeah. That's like 2 tacos, really.
Right? That's ridiculous.
It actually is, honestly. So I got the I don't know how, into Taco Bell you are.
It's my favorite fast food.
Okay, cool. Well, I got the Lux Cravings combo. Whatever the promotional combo box is, that's the thing that I get because I don't want to think about it.
Smart.
Right? So I got that, and that was like, $12-13, and it's just 3 items.
Yeah.
It's just a chalupa and a burrito and a taco and some chips, which, like, no one's eating those fucking chips.
I don't know. Every once in a while, they're nice.
The nacho cheese is good. Big fan of the cheese.
It's good cheese.
So, okay. So, let me see here. So you've been doing it for about a year. It's been interesting. What made you want to start doing it?
I don't know. I've just always been like, the class clown. Always thought I was funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to go to Amazon for another 30 plus years.
Yeah.
So let's just see if I can get famous at this.
Do you work at Amazon right now?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do there?
Right now I'm a learning trainer.
Learning trainer.
I just like help with the new starts and train people on certain things.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
New stars. What is that?
Like new people.
Yeah,
we hire, like, with the past couple of weeks, we just hired, like, hundreds of people at one time. It's ridiculous.
Oh, shit.
But we don't have the work for it.
Do you call them stars, like, as soon as they get in? Is that the idea? Like, you guys are new stars.
Oh, new starts, sorry. Like, starts. Yeah, I was like...
You guys are new stars.
I was like, I should enunciate better. Like, you guys are stars. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea. Make them feel good about themselves,
Smart.
So what's the word? Is it like warehouse stuff? Or?
Yeah, it's warehouse, picking, packing, and then like inbound side is like stowing, just putting the inventory into the mods to get picked out.
Yeah.
And then counting, ISQA.
Okay.
It's all right job. It's it's not the best job, but it's not the worst job.
Does well enough, I'm assuming,
Worked there for 11 years now.
Do you have any thoughts on those? Do you interact with the delivery drivers at all?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. Okay.
Especially like the ones that are like, just throwing packages onto porches and stuff. Or I saw the other day the Amazon driver like dropped it off, took the picture, and then got caught on Ring camera just going back and stealing it. I'm like, do people not realize you're just always recorded?
Yeah, that's how it is now.
It's crazy.
You got cameras on everything. I don't know what they're thinking. I've seen the reason why I'm asking is because I feel like I see those guys all the time, and they'll just be parked like on the fucking house.
Yeah, like your street is almost like I thought it was a one-way street because in Louisville, especially, I don't see cars parked like they're facing the wrong way.
Yeah,
so I'm like, oh shit, am I going down the wrong way? And then
it's a little narrow, isn't it?
But the vans, they'll just park in the middle, like whatever. Everyone needs their shit from Amazon. Deal with it.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
They do not.
They'll just park. They'll just block traffic on a one-way. They're like, I'll only be out there for a second. Like, yeah, but your second is my 8 minutes.
Right, that's crazy.
Well, at least you can avoid that problem, working at the warehouse.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. Do you live here in Louisville? Where do you live?
I live over in Jeff. And I say the good side of the river, but it sucks even more. Like, at least Kentucky has medical weed. Like, Indiana's like, no.
Yeah, no, man.
Just like a year or two ago, we're like, all right, you can buy beer. You can buy alcohol on Sundays. Finally.
Oh, dude.
I was like, enough old people die, and then the laws will not suck. COVID didn't take out enough of these boomers.
Man, I don't know. Do you know? Are you aware of like the fake rivalry between like people from Kentucky and people from Indiana?
Well, I don't know, so my mom's whole side of the family are UK fans, and when I was a younger punk, I was like, oh, I like IU.
Yeah.
So I thought there was this rivalry, but there's not one anymore. So it's like, I should have picked Louisville.
So wait, they're UK fans and they live in Indiana?
No, they live in Kentucky and Ohio, and we're all spread out.
So they're in Kentucky. Okay, I gotcha. So you got family in Kentucky then?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Anyone from like Henry County, Smithfield?
My aunt and my sister live in Meade County, Brandenburg.
Okay. I don't know where that is.
It's like you go through Corydon. It's like 20 minutes from Corydon.
Corydon.
Yeah, Corydon. That's how it's spelled. That's not how we say it.
Really?
No one gives Corydon shit for like saying it wrong. Louisville, they're like, it's not how it's pronounced. Like, that's how we say it.
Oh, well, people from Louisville are so up their own fucking asses sometimes.
They're crazy.
I'm from the country, so I'm like a transplant. Like, I've lived here for about 10 years, but
cool.
I grew up in like maybe like 35, 45 minutes outside of Louisville. We had like bring your tractor to school day and shit.
Yeah, they did that at Floyd Central. They had like tractor day and stuff.
Really? Did you grow up in Jeff?
I moved around a bunch. First half of my life, I lived in Ohio with my mom.
Okay.
My parents are divorced. I got to choose to live with my dad.
Hell yeah.
And he lived in Clarksville. So I grew up in Clarksville, and then we moved a bunch. So
you chose to live with your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I feel like you usually go with the mom in most cases.
That's the courts, I guess. My dad just had more money at the time, or I wanted to switch it up. I don't know. It's a weird decision for a 13-year-old to make. Like, which parent do you want to live with?
I know. It's like, what do you put them like? You like it's like a turtle, or like a small animal, where you put like both parents are like standing side by side, and they're both like like calling to you, and like whichever one you kind of gravitate towards.
No, they should have set up like Pokemon, like choose your starter. Like, all right, mom, dad, grandma. Mom's the fire type, and that's everyone's favorite. So grandma's the water type. That one's cool, but dad's the easy grass type. That's going to get you through the first two gyms with so much ease.
Also, he might have some grass on him that he'll
he maybe... did. My dad did sell weed for the longest time. I went on drug deals with him. I didn't know what was happening at the time.
Yeah.
But I'd just be in the car at a parking lot, and like someone come in through the window and would, reach across me and hand, exchange money and drugs.
Hell yeah, dude.
So many. My dad sold shoes, pizza, and pot, and I sold 2 out of the 3 with him.
Which one was of the highest quality, the shoes, the pizza, or the pot?
I don't remember the shoe store. It was like an old one.
Oh, so he ran a shoe store.
Yeah. It was like Al Bundy minus the football talent. It was Domino's and Papa John's, so probably the pot was the highest quality. But that's what I'm most proud of.
Well, he had the most control over that product, it sounds
I guess.
That's cool. Yeah, my dad never sold weed, but he was used as a patsy for someone who wanted to grow weed. Our next door neighbor, Joe Elzy, he's dead now, so I can say his name. He was like, hey man, I saw your work shed got destroyed in the tornado. I'll build you another one. And my dad was like, oh shit, really? He's like, oh yeah, hell yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. That's really nice of you to just build me a shed. I don't know why you would just do that. I mean, it costs thousands of dollars. He's like, oh no, don't worry about it. By the way, also, we're going to build in a hidden door in the floor.
Don't worry about it.
Dad's like, I don't know why you're doing that, but okay. And then he finally builds it, and he's like, all right, we're going to grow a bunch of weed in here. And my dad was like, whoa, no, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, what do you think I told you I was going to build this building for? He's like, I'm not doing that. And so then the hidden door just really became a way for him to hide his alcoholism from my mom.
Oh.
He would just put all of his empty beer cans down in there.
I was wondering if this neighbor was like, hey, I'm going to build this shed for you. It's going to be our shed. I'm going to have access to it. Like, was that set up? He's like, yeah, sure, you're paying for it. All right. And then hidden room. Because that's just weird to like not set that up. Like, hey, don't notice this door. And I'm going to be in here all the time.
I know. I think my dad was maybe being a little naive on that one. You know, I feel like anybody else could have read the tea leaves about, like, no one's just going to put a free shed on your land, you know? Like, what do you think is
no strings attached. Some seeds and stems, but no strings.
There will be seeds and stems attached. Fuck yeah, dude. Do you smoke weed? I mean, if you come from the life... You know?
I was raised in the weed, born in it. You didn't know till you were a man. It's hard to. I like to do this when I do that voice. Just Bane or Jason said, "There's no drugs in here." Yeah, a little bit because like work tests for it, but like it's like they treat it like alcohol. So like only if you think you're on it at work will they do anything about it.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
That's good. I assumed that it was just like random drug testing all the time over
there.
They
do that too, but like as long as they don't think that you're like high at the time, you're fine.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's what I've been told. I haven't been randomly drug tested in a while.
Yeah,
that will suck.
What do you think about like the fact that it's like about to be legal? Is that a good thing?
I think it should be treated the same as like alcohol. I don't know how you can test for it the exact same way, but
yeah,
I've been drunk and I've been high, and I'm a lot more violent when I'm drunk.
Well, I hope that's not bourbon in your Diet Pepsi there, buddy.
No, drinking like the hangovers and stuff just suck as you get older. Weed, I don't ever feel any hangover from it. Yeah,
I can't get drunk anymore. I'm like a zombie the next day for like we went to, for our birthdays. Our birthdays are on the same, like within like the same 2 days. And so we went to Cincinnati for our birthdays, and the first night we just went bar hopping and we just got totally shit faced. And then the next day we were like until 4 p.m. we were just in the hotel room just nursing our hangover because we felt so bad. Just like back in just like killing liquid IVs left and right, which probably made it worse. I think I've heard that those make you feel not as good if you take too much of them.
Yeah, it's like the too much electrolytes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have those squencher popsicles at work when it gets real hot. They're like, here, eat this. And they're like, you can only have one. So every so hours, people get mad. They're like, all right, fine, eat as many as you want. Like, I don't feel good. Like, we told you. We told you.
I got to go home now. Nope. Work through it, bitch.
Don't be a bitch. We got CPTs.
So you've been doing stand-up. How do you feel? Let me ask you this. How do you feel like, how does it feel like it's going? That's my question.
I feel like I'm getting better. Yeah. I should watch my stuff more often because I record most of what I do.
Yeah, okay.
But it's just like, too. It's being nervous on stage. Like once I get over that where I'm just like calm.
Yeah.
Because my job at Amazon, like I have to talk in front of people, and I couldn't do that at first, but you make yourself do it, you get good at it.
Yeah.
So I figured that'll be the same thing, just make myself get on stage. But I feel like I'm getting better.
Okay. Well, that's all. I mean, that's really all. That's the whole point about it. You know, that's like, it's a craft. It's like a thing that you can get better at, and you feel It's kind of like it's like working out.
Yeah.
It's like the more you do it. Like I never like the best I felt was like, and again, I'm not doing. I feel like I'm not doing open mics nearly as much as I should be. But the one time I had like 3 open mics in a row. By the third night, I was just like, I mean, I felt so much more comfortable up there after just doing it 2 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row.
Yeah, it's nice when you have all those in a row. It's weird if you have like a bad one in between or a bad one to start it off.
Yeah.
And I did that. I had a bad set at playing the tapes because I didn't follow the rules.
Oh, really? What'd you do?
I was talking about Trump and I just racist joke. I was like, Kamala Harris, first she was Indian, now she's black.
Yeah.
We don't even know what kind of Indian she was. Is it call center or casino?
I've heard you do that joke.
Tech support or Tonto jump on it. And then I did the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing the tapes, they didn't like it. And then so I haven't like asked to be back yet. I don't know if I'm banned or not.
Really?
Like the only person that gave me crap was Brandy.
Oh, really?
She was the host and she's like, "Hey man, like it's not cool." And I'm like, I don't know, sometimes you get away with it. And I feel like there's different levels of racism. Not like I'm up here N-word, N-word, N-word.
Yeah.
Or like trying to hurt people. It's like, yeah, it's racist, but it's not that bad.
I mean, do you feel like that joke does all right with the other clubs?
Yeah, I did it. I've done half that joke. Like the last time I did it, playing the tapes, didn't go that great. The time before I did half. I don't think I did the Tonto jump on it part because I thought of that. But like, yeah, it's worked at the Louisville Comedy Club. It's worked at the Caravan.
Yeah. Is his name? Is it in that song? The jump on it, the thong song.
Tonto, Kimosabi, and then like I didn't know it's from the Fresh Prince, but they do that dance.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Like Will and Carl, there's an episode. I guess they're like at a karaoke bar or something, and they just go up and perform that song and they dance to it. And I thought that, so I looked at the music video and like they're not doing the dance, and I'm like, oh, because it's not from the music video, it's from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, it's like that's one thing that I'm really starting to learn is like you learning like which clubs bring in which kinds of crowds and knowing what stuff works for what audiences. Like I was talking about this a couple weeks ago where I did this Ninja Turtles bit at the Louisville Comedy Club, and it just got nothing. And it's because it's just a bunch of fucking Joe Schmoes just off the street. Like, they don't give a fuck about the Ninja Turtles. Whereas I liked it, and I would have found out if I didn't go to the ER last night. I'd like to think that joke would have done better at a Planet of the Tapes kind of crowd.
It's weird. Or like, I've been at an anime bar and did an anime joke and they didn't kill. I'm like, yeah, but they're not here just based off anime. So it's weird.
Have you done? Are you talking about kaiju?
Yeah.
Okay, so you done the Micah Kaiju?
The Micah Kaiju is fun, but like it kind of stinks at the same time because like half the audience is the open micers, and when they're done, they just go outside and hang out.
They just go smoke.
So just like, oh hey, let's do these jokes for 3 people.
Yeah.
But that's the stuff you got to do to get your stage time.
Right, and that's something I'm trying to navigate around because like I feel like it's really hard to go up there and do stuff and then. And it's hard to know if it's going well as it could be doing versus just like, no, you actually did it. You actually fucked that joke up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if there's like 3 people, if all 3 of those people laugh, it's like, all right, that still sounds like nothing. So are you going to keep doing it?
Yeah, I'm on at the Louisville Comedy Club tomorrow.
Okay.
And then the Caravan on the 30th. And then I'm debating if I'm going to go to Kaiju tonight.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Kaiju.
I haven't worked on anything. Like, I have some few jokes. I'm like, all right, I know this. I can do that. I got this down. But it's timing. It's hard to, like, work on your timing. Because, like, at home in the mirror is different than, like, on stage. And you get nervous, and then I talk too fast.
Do you practice in front of the mirror?
I try.
Yeah.
Because I try to watch myself because I just move around a whole lot. And I'm trying to work on that, but it's hard.
How many times would you say you practice a joke in front of the mirror for you're like, I can do that one on stage? Or maybe it's time to try it out.
Normally, so like what I normally do is this week I haven't started working on anything yet. So like tonight and tomorrow I'll do it in the mirror a couple of times. And it just depends on how comfortable I feel or how lazy I'm being. Okay. Like that's what I need to work on the most is just like getting a writing schedule, practicing it, even like rehearsing stuff or a set when I don't have anything to go on. I think I'm going to do better off. Yeah. But I'm just lazy.
Yeah, I get that, man. Like every weekend I'm like, all right, I got to find some time. I got to sit down. I got to do some writing. I got to like clean up the jokes I got, cause like I've done probably, I've done a number of jokes now, and I'm starting to finally maybe start to have like a 5-minute set that I'm starting to feel good about. But even then it's like, if I don't touch it up before, like I get immediately bored with it. Like I don't want to ever do the same set twice.
That's what you got to do. Like I think that's what you do. Just work on the same set, or you like work on the same structure. Like you have a 5-set joke. You're like, all right, these first 2 work, these last 2 work, and try something new in the middle.
Yeah.
But like that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
My biggest thing too is on like writing stuff down. 'Cause I like to write stuff down for memorization, but I'll just change the wording. Like I wrote the joke down, write down the set, and then the second time, like, all right, changed all the words.
Yeah.
Or like different orders. So that's what I struggle with too.
Do you write all of your jokes out?
For the most part.
Okay.
I did like one day I was just like cooking and stuff, and I had my phone like face down. I just recorded a set or like a bit, and then I haven't sat there and listened to it again.
See, I'm super lazy about writing. Like I just don't. Like my hands I start writing with a pen or a pencil in my hand, and I'm just like fucking, like I feel like my brain's moving quicker than my hand is. I'm like, fuck, it takes too fucking long, and then I just get like, again, like my fucking hand is just like not going as quick as I want to. I'm just like, that is boring. Ugh. And so I end up just doing voice memos for all my bits, and then I'll just keep. What I'll do is if I get an idea for something, like while I'm talking to somebody, I'll do just a voice memo of the idea, and then I'll just if I actually am gonna sit down and write some shit, I'll sit down and I'll think about the structure, and then I'll record it. Like I'll just start like recording it over and over and over again. And so if you like look at my drafts, you'll just see like voice recording 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it's just the same joke, just me just trying to record it over and over again until it sounds like. And then when I finally feel like it feels like a joke, I'm like, all right, I think I can tell this. Then I'll actually name it whatever the name of the bit is.
How's your handwriting?
It's not good.
And mine, and then like that. This what you were saying, like your hand doesn't keep up with your brain. I'm like, I feel like the same thing, and my handwriting gets sloppier and sloppier, and I'm like, I can't read this anymore.
Yeah, who has the time to do all that shit?
It's crazy.
But I wonder if because I don't know. Like, do you think all the big dudes you think they're actually writing all that shit out? Word for word?
People have writers and stuff at certain things. Who knows? Or like actually writing. I don't know their processes.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting. I just wonder how, like, I'm like, how do you remember a whole hour set? Because, like, I struggle with 5 minutes.
Yeah, same. I think for me, it's like, it's really wild how it feels like, at least for me, like, it feels like a switch is flipped. Because, like, right before I go up, even if I, like, regardless of whether or not I do well or I don't do well, right before I go up, I'm a nervous wreck.
Me too.
Yeah?
Nervous peas, my leg is shaking, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I'm sweating. I'm like, if my girl's there, I'll just be like squeezing the fuck out of her shoulders. And she'd be like, ow, you're hurting me. I'm like, well, I got to get ready. I don't know what you want from me. But then so every time I'm about to go up, I'm like, I'm not ready. I didn't prepare as much. I'm going to fuck all this shit up. And then I go up, and usually it's like, oh, I told him, all the words came out somehow. I don't know how that happened. It's like a spirit just comes in and just takes over.
Do you like knowing the lineup beforehand? Like I like Louisville Comedy Club because I know what order I'm going to be in. Whereas like playing the tapes and Caravan, it's like, oh, you'll figure out day of. I don't, like I said, I only know, it only really bothers me if I'm going first. Like I like to know, cool, because I can prepare. Because normally if I'm being real lazy, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go run through my jokes the whole time while people are doing theirs.
Yeah, that happened to me a couple weeks ago at the Louisville Comedy Club because they don't, sometimes they'll be late posting that list.
Yeah.
And I found out, like, a dude, one of my coworkers was like, "Are you still doing open mics?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." And he's like, "When's your next one?" And I'm like, I was like, "Well, you know what? You just made me realize I could probably check the Louisville Comedy Club list to see when my next set there is." And this is like 5:30 on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And I look, and sure enough, my name was on that night. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta rush down there."
That's crazy. And then you don't want to miss because, you know, if they're going to ban you for like 2 months.
I know.
They were real bad for like a month or two, and there was like one, it was like the first Tuesday of the month, and they're like, "Hey, the list isn't up yet, so if it does come up, we'll honor it. If not, you know, just come, we'll do, you know, show up and go up."
Okay. I mean, it's nice that they do that, because I mean, at least they're recognizing, like, "Hey, this wasn't your guys' fault. Like, this is something that we." But I'd be curious to know. I don't really know. You know, I'm not really, because I'm not really in it like that yet. So I don't really know, like, how all that shit works.
Yeah, I don't either. And like I said, I'm not trying to get a big head or get jaded or anything. I just get my time and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Do you have any aspirations to, like, do it for a living, or is it just something you're just trying to have
if I
fun
can
with?
get good enough at it and go on tour and sell out arenas, and, you know, just
Fuck yeah.
that'd be awesome. But if not, if I just do this as a hobby for, you know, until I stop, like, it's something.
Yeah.
I need an outlet. I watch enough Criminal Minds. I have enough stressors in my life. I got to get this out somehow. I'm going to kill.
Stop watching Criminal Minds.
No, I'm going to kill one way or another. Have you seen Criminal Minds? 80% of those episodes is me. It's the unsub.
Is that right?
Some white dude in his late 30s with issues.
Yeah. Is that, like, I haven't seen it. Is it like Law and Order kind of?
Pretty much. It's that it's the FBI's BAU, Behavioral Analysis Unit.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a real thing or not. I choose to believe it's a real thing.
Sure.
Because it's fun.
Now, we won't look it up.
No, there's no possible way to look it up. I don't think the FBI is real. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what do you? So, all right. So you watch Criminal. What are you into? I know you're into Pokemon and shit.
So anime.
Okay.
I'm almost caught up on One Piece.
Okay.
And it's about to go on a hiatus.
8,000 episodes, right?
It's only 11,000. Nothing crazy. But yeah, right now I get caught. Like, I'll try to watch new shows, but I'm like, I'll rewatch Always Sunny, or
yeah, same.
Like Malcolm in the Middle again, or go on these. I was talking to my buddy the other day about Parenthood.
Yeah.
I was like, that show's like came out.
Show Parenthood.
Yeah, it came out in 2015. I don't know why I watched it then, but I just like that show, and now I see people like one of the dudes is in 911. I can't think of his name, but it's the main dude on 911. I'm like, oh, I know him from Parenthood.
Really? Why did I think Parenthood was like a 90s show? I'm thinking like a black comedy.
Like My Wife and Kids with
yeah, like Sister, or like Smart Guy, you know?
Oh, okay. You know, that does sound right. There's like
Is there another show called Parenthood?
Maybe. It's just weird. Like, yeah, so mainly I watch like anime.
Okay.
And then
hell yeah,
Always Sunny.
I see you got the Naruto watch there.
Koski.
I started my very first Naruto watch through like probably like a year or two now ago, and I got as far as like, I mean, how many seasons are the first shows? Like 9 seasons.
Did you get where they switched to Shippuden?
No, I didn't get to.
So that's when it gets real good.
Really?
Yeah.
So I got to keep going. So I think I got lost when Sasuke goes off and is just disappeared for like a really long time, right? Because he's with like he's with the main bad guy.
Moshi, or yeah, I can't think of how to pronounce his name.
I can't remember his name at all. And so there it felt like there was like just this really long period where it's just a bunch of filler episodes.
Yeah,
that's how it felt to me.
Most of that is filler.
Okay.
But yeah, it sounds like
lost in the filler is what happened.
It almost describes like the way it goes from the Naruto to Naruto Shippuden is they're going to get Sasuke, and then it gets better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So if I just kind of keep... So are you saying that I could maybe skip some of those episodes?
You could probably look up which episodes are filler and not canon and just skip it.
That's what I should
Like
do.
eventually they're gonna make Naruto Kai, like Dragon Ball Z Kai, and it's like, all right, here's all this stuff you don't need. Like we don't need to watch him get his driver's license.
Yeah. We don't need to watch him
We
just
need
eat
Piccolo at the
ramen for 30
DMV.
minutes. Yeah. Or he's like, oh, I'm doing quests to find a purse for somebody, and it's got all these ghost coins in them. And
Yeah.
okay, all right. Well, that has nothing to do with the main arc. So
I just finished My Hero, and I looked up.
okay, I've seen a little bit of that.
It's pretty good. It just ended on this crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But like the episode before it also ended on a cliffhanger. I'm like, is this how it's ending? So I went on the internet and it's like, oh, that's the last episode. It's done. I'm like, there's no way that's true.
Yeah.
It's got one more season. But a movie just came out. I'm like, oh, did they end it? And then the movie's the last episode? No, the movie's not related.
Really?
The anime does that. It's like they make these movies that like aren't canon, but kind of canon.
Yep. What do they call them? OVA or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I grew up watching those Dragon Ball Z movies where it's just like you're like trying to do all this math of like to place like the timeline. It's like, okay, well, he's wearing the King Kai gi and he knows Spirit Bomb, so it must be after Vegeta, and then also Gohan is wearing the purple, Piccolo gi, so it's very difficult to, especially as a 12-year-old, to really piece together the idea that like, oh no, it's a different universe. It's like not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I always like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's. I don't want to watch the first one because I know he's Spider-Man. I don't need to see how he becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I just want to see him do all the cool Spider-Man stuff in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
and then Spider-Man 3 when he just emo slaps Mary Jane for no reason.
Which one is your favorite of all of the Spider-Man movies?
I don't know. That's a good like.
Yeah, I'd be asking the hard-hitting questions.
That's hard, because
I'm gonna ask your political affiliation after this.
The Tom ones just seem better, but they're full Marvel movies, so it's not fair.
Yeah.
And the Tobey Maguire ones are just nostalgic. Like that's my Spider-Man. So I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, I get that.
And then the Garfield ones are fun.
Well, you know Joey Diaz is in the second one. Joey, do you know who Joey Coco Diaz is?
That sounds familiar.
He's one of the comedians who got famous doing the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
And he had his own podcast. Well, he has his own podcast for a while. He's like this storied comedian / actor who he's been in like, it's like now that he's famous as a comedian / podcaster, people go back and find like all these little small bit roles that he's played in random movies. And then also he was a criminal and went to prison for kidnapping and was in prison for like a couple of years. And yeah, he's a wild dude. And he's in Spider-Man 2.
It's weird though. Like I guess like his kidnapping, like that's like the borderline of like, all right, murder. We're not gonna let you do anything. If you just held someone, you just kidnapped someone, and you gave him back.
Yeah,
like that's weird. Like,
well, it sounds like he just made a guy go into another room and it was like you can't go anywhere. And then they considered that kidnapping.
I don't know, if you like a person enough, you'll justify what they do. We do it all the time.
Yeah,
like that's how Diddy got away with all the stuff he's been doing. Like Bad Boys for Life. All right, come on, we didn't see nothing.
Man, did you see that fucking video of him in the hotel?
On where the bath towel didn't fall off? Yeah. Crazy, he's beating people.
Yeah, man, that's wild shit.
That's crazy.
What's really sad, and this is gonna like, if he ever heard this, I think this would really hurt him. I don't know any I can't think of a single P. Diddy song.
I was looking him up the other day because I'm like, I'm not going to stop listening to Biggie. And so like on, Essential Playlist, he has much music. He has one for his stuff and he has stuff that he produced.
Really?
But you got to go like back to like 2000 or like Shake Your Tail Feather with, Nelly.
Okay.
And, Bad Boys for Life. There's some other stuff.
Do you fuck with hip hop? You a hip hop guy?
A little. My taste in music is so weird. I like a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Like here right now, I've been listening to a lot of Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan, and then.
Dude, how the fuck has pop just come back? Like
I don't know. It's great. If a song is catchy enough, I like it. I don't care. Or if it's in a movie that I like. Like there's so many songs from Tommy Boy that I just love because it makes me think of Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Like Come On Eileen. I shouldn't like that song.
Wait, what song? What is that? Come on, Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. I swear that you mean. And this moment, it's just. Okay. I think that's like when they're driving back. They've sold all the sales or whatever. It's before Rob Lowe, messes with the shipments and messes everything up. Spoiler if you've seen Tommy Boy.
If you haven't seen Tommy Boy,
you're missing out.
You are no longer allowed to listen to this podcast.
It's the best Farley movie. Then Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yep.
Coneheads. I guess that counts.
Yeah, it does count. He was great in Coneheads.
He's the Penguin and Billy Madison. And the bus driver. I don't know if he's the Penguin or not. He's definitely the bus driver.
This won't play well at all on a podcast, but my girl and I will just fuck around, and we like to pretend to be the Penguin. We'll just, we'll be like, we'll be like making out. We'll be like, oh, yeah. He doesn't say, oh, yeah, but you get it.
I haven't watched Tommy Boy in years, about 3 now, because I watched it way too soon after my dad died.
So you're a big Chris Farley guy.
Yeah, I love Chris Farley.
Okay. Oh, shit, your dad's dead too?
3 years now.
Fuck yeah. I mean,
Dad Club, yeah.
DDC, baby.
No, my wife hates my dad being dead because I just make jokes all the time. Like, she was complaining about her dad. She's like, I haven't talked to him in weeks. I'm like, yeah, I haven't talked to my dad in years. Well, your dad's not alive. I'm like, yeah, rude.
Oh, you bring that? Oh, throw that in my face. Why don't you?
It was our first Father's Day after my dad passed away. We were at my sister's for Father's Day, and my wife is complaining about her dad to us.
Okay.
And my sister doesn't care. We weren't upset or whatever, but I just had to say it. I was like, really? It's our first Father's Day since our father passed away, and you got to complain about your alive father? And my wife knew I was joking. She got mad at me.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, I don't. My sister's like, I don't. I was like, I don't care is the wrong thing to say, but I'm not offended.
Yeah.
The best part about that Father's Day is my niece told everyone, including her father, if their dad was dead, you can't celebrate Father's Day. Your dad's dead.
How old was she?
I think she's 8 now. I'm not a great uncle.
Wow.
I don't know their ages. She's funny. My sister's like, I swear to God, it's your kid. Because, like, my sister has half of my dad's ashes in their garage. Okay. So, like, every time one of us goes in that garage, like, what, do you want to spend time with your dad? Like, the last time I went in there to get a drink, all 3 of them ran to the door to be the first person to say it.
Oh.
It's so funny. It makes me laugh so much.
That's adorable.
It's so great.
So, wait. So, you got a wife, you got a sister. Sister has kids. Mm-hmm. Is it just you and your sister only?
I got a little brother as well, but
little brother.
He's in Ohio somewhere. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Okay, I feel that with mom probably. Sounds like
no. Mom lives with sister.
Okay.
My mom's a degenerate, drug addict, pothead, whole life.
Okay.
The only family I talk to is my mom, my sister, and then one aunt and uncle that live in Brandenburg as well.
Okay.
I tried to reach out to my mom's side of the family when I got married and just couldn't get a hold of them.
Yeah. I get that.
But I wonder if a lot of them thought it was like Facebook bot hackers. I shouldn't have said, like, you'll never guess who died. It's me getting married. Come to my wedding.
Well, at least you told them,
I just want them to send me money.
Please come to the wedding. If not, here's my Venmo. Also, I'm not going to tell you where the wedding is.
No, you can come. I had people, like, they wanted to come. I'm like, well, it's at a park. You could just show up to the park.
Yeah.
My wife's like, stop telling people that. I'm like, what? I'm sorry, I'm popular.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm not super close with my family either. It's really just me and my mom, and like I said, Dad died 16 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
And so I had a brother and a sister through him. And he passed. We didn't. I mean, and we weren't close when we were growing up either, because they were like, way older than me, like like 8-10 years older than me, and so they were already out of the house by the time I was growing up, and they had a different mom.
Yeah,
they're the ones. See, they're the ones who had the drug addicted, degenerate mother.
It builds character,
welfare, and shit. Yeah, it does. I mean, I wouldn't know, but
my mom's good. Suck it, John.
My mom works at Cedar Lake. She's got a real job. Making minimum wage. No, she makes more than that. Not much more.
My mom's going through her 18-year-old rebellious stage, which is weird because she's 56. But she lives with my sister, and, like, they drive each other insane, which isn't a surprise because they didn't get along when my mom was the adult and my sister was the child.
Yeah.
Like, they fought all the time. My mom kicked my sister out to go live with dad.
Okay.
But didn't go through the courts. So, like, when they did the court stuff with me, the custody, they did that too. And they made my dad pay back child support because legally... My dad's so mad. He's probably still mad about that right now. I can, like, every once in a while I see his plastic urn moving around. It has to be about that.
It's just like it's floating and it's rotating in midair, like he's about to conjure some shit. Yeah.
But she was talking to me about like thinking about getting a job and like getting her own place. And I'm like, bitch, you couldn't afford that in the 90s. You can't afford that shit right now.
So wait, so where is she? You said she lives here
in Brandenburg. Yeah,
Brandenburg.
My sister.
Wait, where's Brandenburg at?
It's in Kentucky.
Okay.
Like if you like drive through Corden.
Okay.
It's not too far.
Wait, Corden, Indiana?
Yeah.
So you gotta go through Indiana to get there?
Yeah, you know, like before the bridges, you know how you like go through New Albany to get to Louisville faster? Or if you live like southern, I guess you don't know because you don't live on that side.
That's correct.
But like the Sherman Mitten is like you can like go through New Albany to get on the Sherman Mitten. It's weird.
Huh.
But yeah, it's not too far.
Okay.
It's like 45 minutes away from Louisville.
Really? Okay. That's pretty cool. Do you like having a little buffer zone where it's like you don't have to like she's not like where you at like every week or
No, it's cool. Like again, my family doesn't talk to me a whole lot. Mm-hmm. And I know the phone works both ways, so it's not like I have a bunch of missed calls from them or they have them from me. Yeah. It's like I don't do anything. Like what do you want, like you guys don't come to my comedy shows. So that's what I talk about.
Have they ever been?
My sister came to the first one. My brother-in-law, my cousin, and then my mom comes to them occasionally.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, what else we want to talk about? Like I tell you about the new season of Fortnite. Like I used to get mad when they didn't tell me anything about like my cousins or whatnot. But I'm like, oh, they didn't tell me that my mom was having surgery. Yeah. My mom didn't tell me either. Because they're like, I was giving them shit. They're like, your mom's grown. She didn't tell you. I'm like, yeah, but she's a degenerate drug addict. Like you guys have to tell me these things.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to get worried if she's going crazy through old age, or it's like just all this pot fog and other drugs up there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally get that. It's weird, man, because like I feel like you have all these expectations on what we want family to be, and I think everybody, at least in my experience with my family, I feel like a lot of it like comes down to no one is ready to like no one's ready to just bring the shields down.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like I will go to the reunion every year. I'll see all these people in my family once a year, and and then we never talk to each other the rest of the year. And it's not that I don't like them. It's just we're all doing our own shit, and I think that, and even at the reunion, it just becomes like, well, this side of the family, they sit over here on this side of the bench. This part of the family, they sit over here in this corner, and they like might say hi, and then they just kind of go back to their little fucking circle of lawn chairs.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's because everybody's waiting for someone to come to them.
Probably.
As opposed to, so I feel like I'm the only one who ever goes to every, I feel like I gotta like pay fealty or something to like every fucking little
pay respects to
little mini family in the big family. Like, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Blah blah blah. Like so many families don't function if like there's not at least somebody there to just like be the glue. And a lot of the times, especially if it's like, like you're like if you're like a matriarch or like a dad or a grandma was like the head of that family.
Yeah, it's what happened with mine. My grandma passed away, and I don't see my mom's side of the family in Ohio because we don't go there for Christmas or Thanksgiving every other year.
Yeah, that's the trend, which sucks because I do have like cousins who I'll see at the reunion that I'll be like, you're like a normal person.
Yeah,
I'd fuck with you. For sure.
So I'm friends with them on Facebook, so I just see their lives through there. I'm like, it looks like you guys are doing good. You got your little families and everything. Cool.
Yeah.
So
you want to hear something real dark?
Yeah.
You want to hear some fucking dark?
I love it. The darker the better. That sounded weird.
Damn, where'd the lights go? My brother passed away a couple years ago, and again, like I said, we never spoke after my dad passed. And we tried once. We tried once when I was like, I don't know, 24. And we tried hanging out one time, turned into a huge thing. I was like, nah, I'm never doing this again. And so I never saw him ever again after that. And when he passed 2 years ago, sister didn't reach out, didn't tell me.
That's crazy.
And then when I did find out, it was through Facebook. And then I sent my condolences to the wife.
Yeah.
You know, baby mama, who I'd never met. And then she was like, you want to see these kids? I was like,
I guess.
I mean, I think it's a little late for that, don't you think? She started sending me pictures of the kids. I'm like, nah, that's cool. All right. She's like, maybe meet them sometime. I'm like, well, I don't think that's probably gonna happen. I think we missed the boat on that one, unfortunately. That's a hard decision to make. But
yeah.
Also, you just got to live your life.
I think it comes down to like, I don't know. Some days I can go to a family gathering, and if no one talks to me, I would just go sit on the couch and then just be in my own world. And then some days I will talk to every single person. So I don't know if it just works that same way with like, going out of your comfort zone, extending. Mm-hmm. Just worry like so.
Do you think it's just maybe just where you're at that day? Sometimes
maybe I can't tell you what's going on. Like my mother-in-law, I've never called her by her first name.
Okay,
her name's Melissa. She goes by Mel or Missy, depending on who it does. So I don't know which one to call her from that. And I just don't start the conversation. Or if I do, it's like, hey, or whatever. So I didn't bring this up until after we got married. So I'm like, what should I call you? She's like, you can call me whatever you want. So I call her Monster-in-Law. Which is like, everyone rags on their in-laws. I got lucky. Mine are great.
Yeah.
My wife's dad, he's a good dude, but he's just, he's an alcoholic. So that's the struggles in that.
Yeah.
That's his only flaw. And then my mother-in-law is great.
Great at parties.
No, when we first started dating, we go out to eat or whatever, and like it's like, oh, alcoholics. You just assume no one would drink around them, but they would like get a beer or whatever.
Really?
Like, sometimes he would have like some of it with him. I'm like, what are you guys? You're enabling.
Yeah,
like, it's so weird.
Do you think is this like family members that are drinking around him, or is it just like friends? Or
I don't know. I don't know what he does.
Yeah.
The wife's real upset because she hasn't talked to him in like a month now, and he's like, I think he's drinking again.
Okay.
I'm like, that's rough.
Yeah, that sucks. It's hard, man.
It's hard watching your parents get old. Like I was talking about earlier, my mom is starting to slip, and I told my sister the other day, I was like its dad did us a favor and just dipped out before we had to worry about it. And she did not like that comment. She's like, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I get that. And it's like, well, that's, and most of the time, like if I have a comedian in here, like my first question is going to be like, what's the trauma? Because like most comedians, like it comes from like people don't just do that.
Yeah.
Like you got to be a little insane to go up there and just throw it all out on the table. And it's because, most and I hate to like really play into that cliche, but I mean, it is there for a reason. It's most people are dealing with shit. And that's the way that they cope is through humor.
There are worse ways to deal with it. I've seen enough episodes of Criminal Minds.
It's like you either continue the cycle or you do an open mic. Pick your poison.
I'm going to do both. I'm going to do open mics and continue the cycle.
I'm going to continue the cycle, do open mics, and I'm going to get a motorcycle too. Just keep the cycle going, like on all.
I got a bicycle. I got recycle.
I got a tricycle.
Yeah.
You ever seen those tricycles? Those fucking motorcycle trikes.
Yeah. The 3-wheelers is like Sons of Anarchy. When you get too old, they just put you in one of those. Yeah, like you're still a badass. You just can't balance.
You just don't have equilibrium, but it's cool. You can still kill some people.
I guess it makes sense because like you can't hear out of your left ear, so you can't fucking. That's where your equilibrium is.
My mom's second husband had a trike, and I felt like he thought he was the most badass dude. And I was like, "You are not."
I don't know. Was it the one with the 2 wheels in front? Because that one is cooler.
No, it's not. It's like it's like a toy. It's like one of those like Fisher Price, with the 2 wheels in the back, and you gotta like pedal it, It's like that, but with a motor.
It's brand new, but the first one ever at the same time.
Yeah, it was not cool. But also, I'm never gonna get on. Here's my problem with it. Like, I would never have the balls to ride a motorcycle, right? Like, I understand that I'm a scaredy cat, and I don't want to die. I don't want to put myself through that kind of danger. But like, why? So it's like, that's fine and that's cool. You don't have to. No one has to ride a motorcycle. It's really dangerous and it's actually kind of a dumb idea. But hey, people make that choice and that's fine. But don't pretend like you're in that lifestyle if you can't fucking ride a motorcycle.
Or at the same time, like, you're a badass biker, but you're gonna complain about grass on the road.
Yeah,
Like,
come on, it's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, man.
you get so mad about it. People that don't even ride motorcycles get mad about it too. My buddy's always posting like every other week when it's summer. Get your glass clippings off the side of the road. Someone could slide.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
I was like, you dress for the ride, or just for the slide, not the ride anyways. Or they're like, share the road. I'm like, yeah. But when you guys are overtaking lanes and stuff, whether it's legal or not, like, I don't feel too bad when you get clipped.
100%. Yeah, dude, they'll just go straight up through that line, man. If it's like busy interstate, they'll just start bobbing and weaving like they're in the fucking Matrix.
It's crazy. My dad used to get mad too, like when the seatbelt law passed. He's like, you don't have to wear, you can be on a motorcycle as long as your pecker's not out, you're fine, but I gotta wear my seatbelt. It's so mad.
Wait, right, because you have to wear a seatbelt.
I don't think you have to wear a helmet on a motorcycle.
Is that right?
What I've always heard is like, oh, they need more organ donors.
Oh my god.
So like, yeah, just let them,
I had a coworker at another job. He rode a motorcycle every day, and one day he got into a really bad wreck on his motorcycle, and they had to amputate his foot.
That's crazy.
And he just had to work with just one foot, and luckily it was an office job, but it wasn't like a blue collar thing or anything like that. But they were like, he was like, hey guys, can I park in the executive parking lot so I can not be super far away, because our parking garage was like, it was like a mile away from the building. It was downtown. Yeah. And like, is it okay if I maybe park in the executive parking lot right next to the door? And they're like, fuck no, dude.
Get a promotion. You work or trash.
You don't just lose a foot and then you get to
I was like, no, I park there. I don't want to look at you more.
You're just going to bum me out, dude.
Oh. Guess money can't buy everything.
Yeah, so that's rough. But, what are you going to do? Now, you're into anime. Do you play video games at all?
Yeah. A lot of Fortnite, and then I try to make time for other things, but it's mostly Fortnite.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big Fortnite guy, but I haven't really been playing a whole lot of video games lately. It's been, if I play anything, it's been a little bit of Helldivers. And I just got an OG Xbox.
I saw when I walked in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you have like an old school system back in the day?
Yeah, growing up, because my dad sold drugs, so like he had extra money. At one point in time, I had them all. Like I had PS2, the GameCube, and the Xbox.
Shit, yeah.
And then I regret getting rid of them one by one. I think the first one I got rid of was the GameCube.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I remember playing Halo, and like this is when flat screens first came out, so like it had the rest of the TV behind it still.
Yeah.
And like 32-inch was big. Mm-hmm. And I had the best TV. My buddies would come over. It was the best life.
I truly believe that, they say like Super Mario NES is like the golden era of gaming. Yeah. I disagree. I think our era, like Xbox, PS2, Metal Gear, Grand Theft Auto, like to me that was like, I don't think it'll ever be as good as it was in that era.
They don't make games like that anymore. They don't make complete games. Mm-hmm. It just expands. Like I wish like Grand Theft Auto, like GTA 5 has been going on for like 22 years. It feels like, and all the stuff they do online. I wish they'd be like, oh hey, you could play it offline, and that would be cool.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, I love the Grand Theft Auto games. I still have not played any of the online stuff just because it just doesn't feel like it's the same thing.
I think I bought GTA 5 on 360 on Xbox One or PS4 because it was on one of them was cheaper, and then again, no, I haven't bought it yet for Series X or 5.
Okay,
but I'm not gonna play it.
Man, I worked at GameStop the day Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and I I mean, that might be one of the busiest days I ever worked.
Did they
in
do
my
a
life.
midnight release for that? Because I remember those. Those don't happen anymore either.
No, I know. We did. Yeah, we did do one, and that was crazy. And then the morning of was just the morning after was just nonstop from like open to close. And then the worst of the worst was like when like people got off work the day after, like the normies were like, I go pick up Grand Theft Auto. I couldn't stay up, but now I'm gonna, my work day's over. I'm gonna do that for 3 days straight now. That shit was rough.
I always wanted a job at GameStop. Never got one.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't want it bad enough.
I mean, I don't even know how. I think here's the thing. I waited too long. Like I should have done it like 3 years before I actually did it. Like I waited till after I graduated college. And it's like, you don't want to start working in GameStop after you get your degree,
Like, yeah, let's go to college, finish that out, and then go to GameStop. Like, that's like you drop out of college for GameStop.
Yeah, it's like, I want to be a lawyer. But also, maybe we'll just sell video games for 3 years and see what happens,
What'd you go to college for?
Political science.
Okay.
I went to NKU, Northern Kentucky. So it's like right next to Cincinnati.
Cool.
So pretty much lived like right next to Cincinnati for a couple years.
Fun. I went to community college, 3 semesters.
Hell yeah.
Not consecutive. Went to IUS.
It's like a
my car broke down and like right at finals, and I just failed all my classes.
No shit.
And then I went to Ivy Tech.
Okay.
And then after a semester, just didn't care. And then I went back again. And I remember one of the last times at Ivy Tech, I had this algebra course that I didn't need to take.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like attendance one isn't recommended, so I just didn't show up. And one day I showed up, and like the teacher tried to kick me out of the class that day.
No shit.
And then the rest of the class, she would just like, I wasn't paying attention. She would call on me, and I'm like, all right, I'm not paying attention. Let me try to figure this out real quick.
Yeah.
She hated me so much.
Sound like she tried to single you out.
I guess. But that was like in my 20s when I like thought I wanted to be an asshole because I thought that was cool.
Can you do that for a living?
I don't know.
I'm still trying to find that out. Yeah, man, I get that. Yeah, I mean, I only went because like you go into you're in high school and counselor's like, I mean, you're gonna fucking be a failure if you don't do this. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll go.
Now you're gonna be a failure in debt.
Oh, I know, dude. I have so much student loan debt. It's like, it's going to be, I'm so waiting for Papa Biden to just wipe that shit away. Like I'm not even paying. I'm just like, oh, they'll wipe it. They'll wipe it eventually.
It's like, it's so crazy. We get 18-year-olds, just give them so much access to free debt.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy a beer at 18 anymore or smoke. Like, you can never buy a beer at 18, but smoke.
Right. Absolutely.
Like it's crazy. Like also you're a kid still. Like I don't like 18 you're adult. No.
Yeah.
They got to change that to like 20 or so. I don't know.
I mean, and if like, here's the thing, like if you are 18 years old, right, and you don't know any better, like that's one thing, but then like, you're propositioning like all of these kids who maybe were the first person in their family to go to college.
Yeah.
Right. And then their parents don't know any better. They're just like, well, I mean, the school system wants them to do it, so they must be looking out for their best interest, right? And then you're like, oh, you owe $50,000 because you thought it would be a good idea to use student loans to pay your rent at your apartment because my rationale is like, well, rent is cheaper than a dorm, right? Why don't I just take out student loans to pay rent? And, and there is a certain logic to that, but also get a job and pay your rent.
I don't know, man. Like, I can't get a mortgage. I could pretend to go back to school, get student loans, and just buy a house. At least I'll have something worth of value after I pay my mortgage.
Wait, so you're saying I should take out student loans, put a down payment out on a mortgage, and buy my house that way?
I mean, if the student, like, what's the interest rate on mortgages versus student loans?
That's a great point.
Honestly, or which one's way easier to get? Student loan.
That's, you know what?
I just solved the housing crisis.
Damn,
What's the episode of John solves the crisis houses?
Isn't that a title of It's Always Sunny? Is that one of those episodes?
Probably.
Why is that show, speaking of which, why is that show the most rewatchable show of all time, because I do the same thing where I'll finish that series and then I'll just go right back to the first episode. I'll just keep watching it.
I feel like that's how everyone argues. Like that's how I argue. I'm just always yelling. Like that's the goal. You just have like 4 close friends.
Yeah,
that's all you need. You just go on random adventures, pretend to own a bar together.
Yeah, that would be dope. That's always been like a secret like dream of mine, to own like a bar. Just even though I didn't grow up like around bars, or like I wasn't from the country, so like there were no bars around me.
Yeah, but it's in movies and TV shows. They just trick us into these things.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I wonder if Always Sunny would be as good if Danny DeVito never joined.
Oh, there's no way.
Season 2, that show got so much better.
It's night and day. Yeah.
And then I think they took a lot of episodes off of FX or off of Hulu streaming, because they like the Lethal Weapon ones where they do like full black face and black body. They never got shit for that either. And I think because it's like, yeah, that's racist, but they weren't doing it to be racist. They were just, he was playing the character. Same like Robert Downey Jr. got away with it. Nobody cares. And then like they were like Gen Alpha was watching Tropic Thunder and like, oh, we got to cancel him for that. Like, they'll make the second one right now. They do not care.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Is that still available on streaming, Tropic Thunder, you think?
It's got to be on something.
Yeah. That is a funny movie. I mean, that's Danny McBride. It's one of those funniest roles.
Oh, I love Danny McBride.
You watch Kenny Powers.
Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
Righteous Gemstone's real good.
Work, drugs. Yeah.
Land of the Lost. He's so great in that with Will Ferrell.
Oh, was he? I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, he makes fun of Will Ferrell so much in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's one. I love Will Ferrell.
I would watch that movie now just for that. I had no idea.
Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, those are my movie guys.
Well, actually, okay, so that actually raises a really good question that I meant to ask earlier, because you said you just started doing comedy, right? And you were like, I don't know what made me think to do it. You just on a whim, but I assume that you had some comedic influences, right? Like, are you more of a I was talking to my buddy Nick last week about like it seems like there's this division. It's either like comedy, like the big huge monolithic comedy people are either stand-ups or they're like improv, like comedic actors like Will Ferrell, Chris Farley. Like, where would you say your influences come from on that spectrum?
Probably closer to like more stand-up and stuff, like Ralphie May.
Okay,
one of my favorite ones. People would tell me that I remind them of it. I'm like, I'm not that funny and I'm not that fat, so like, fuck you. Like comedy, I don't know if I want to do more like just I want to say the most shocking thing, or like I want to work on telling stories.
Okay. I like stories because they feel more. I feel like it's easier to connect. The audience.
But I know I wouldn't like if I can go to day shift like I've been trying to do. I'm like looking into doing more stuff like that, like maybe like improv or whatnot, or look at that. Mm-hmm. 'Cause it just seems like fun. I've done a little bit of that. In middle school, we had this improv group and we did a contest. And I think we came in third.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh shit, dude, that's pretty tight. You third grade?
I think sixth.
Oh, sixth grade. Did you just say that? And I heard you say
middle
third?
school.
Middle school.
Came in third place.
Okay.
In the contest.
Oh, you came in third place.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like catching up now. Okay. That's fucking sick, dude. So Ralphie May, but obviously like Chris Farley.
Yeah, Chris Farley's like, that comment. Him just falling through tables and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. All his SNL stuff is great. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite ones is when they're like, "Sir, do you know that you're not actually drinking coffee? It's decaffeinated Colombian crystals." And they show like they did that to a couple people, and then go to Chris Farley. He's like, "What? You guys lied to me!" And he's flipping out. And he's like fighting them, and they go to like the next scene. He's like, he's all beaten up and bandaged and stuff. He's like, "I overreacted a bit."
You son of a bitch. Yeah, those are so good. We've been watching when we eat dinner, and this is probably the worst time to do this, but we've been watching this documentary series on Hulu called The Dark Side of Comedy.
Yeah.
And it's like each episode is they'll follow like a tragic figure in the comedy world. And like they'll do like one episode was Chris Farley, one episode was Andrew Dice Clay, and like all of the controversy that he created in the 80s and 90s. And one was obviously Roseanne Barr. And I don't know if they did a Ralphie May one. I feel like they should, because he died at a young age.
He got him pneumonia.
Was it pneumonia?
That's what he got.
I guess that's okay. I mean, that's not like super dark to die of pneumonia. But also, he was fat as fuck. Surely that played a role.
It had to. There's, or like, pneumonia didn't get him. A couple years later, like beatus or heart failure or whatever fat guy disease you want to insert.
Yeah, it would have caught up with him. Did you watch that video of his on? He's at the Comedy Store and he just goes in for like an hour about like how to make it as a stand-up.
I don't know if I've seen that. I've seen most of his specials. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, he gives like a lot of like really, really good advice for like how to make it in the biz. Like, and it's like, and I probably, if I'm honest, I probably tune out after like 10 minutes, but the big thing is just like talking about like how important it is for you to get your reps in. And he's like, if you're going to be a comic in LA, it's like, you can't make it unless you're doing like at least 2 or 3 open mics every single night, like 6 nights a week. You're doing 2 to 3 a night. And he's like, and you got to play this game where you give yourself a point for every, he's like, you give yourself 5 points for every new joke. You give yourself 3 points for a new tag. If you move a joke from the end of a set to the beginning of a set, that's 1 point. Like just all these little bitty things about how like you got to like switch up the set every single night. And I mean, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
No, I've like, so I'll listen to other things. Like I listen to Two Bears a lot when I'm at work.
Hell
and
yeah.
like it just, you get like random people they talk to, like they're talking to like fitness guys and stuff, and it's weird how like, oh hey, I'm working out, like this like works out. Like it's weird how things work out.
Yeah.
Like just all coincidence things line up. Like I pay attention to it. I was reading the Dark Tower series by Stephen King.
Okay.
One of the only Stephen King series I've read.
Really? Okay.
And like that's like in that book, it's like all these things are just lining up at the same time. And then if you're thinking about stuff, I guess that's your brain tricks you. It just seems like you're paranoid or everything's lining up at the same time.
Yeah.
Or like you hear a song lyric wrong and now you can't just unhear it.
Yeah, I get that.
It's weird.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean, man. Let's see. Yeah. Holy shit, dude! I think we fucking did it.
But
We were fucking at an hour.
how long you been podcasting?
Huh? Well, it's like, I mean, that's a complicated answer.
Okay.
It's been, well, I did, so my girl and I, we did a podcast, in 2022 and part of 2023 called Just a Couple of Thoughts.
Yeah.
And it was just me and her just shooting the shit every week. And, so I did that. I've been doing that for a little bit. This new show, Talk Zone, I just started doing this in like, we'll say July.
Cool.
I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I kind of been itching to get back, especially since I've been doing open mics more often. Because really what I want to do is, at least for this, is I want to like, I want to bring new people on so I can interview them and have conversations with people I've never really met before, and have new experiences.
That's cool.
So... And it's like, if I'm meeting new comics, what a great opportunity to bring people on and talk to them, see what they're about, and share, thoughts on the art form.
I was hacking my way through it. Doing a podcast with your girl seems weird because you just feel like you run out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it with my wife. My wife is just like, talk to me. That doesn't do anything. And she's like, well, you talk to other people all the time. I'm like, yeah, because they bring up stuff and then it feeds off of it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you don't like your wife. And I'm like talking to my wife. No.
Well, if you did your research, you would know we have great on-air chemistry.
I told my wife I was going to be on the podcast. She's like, cool. What's it about? And I was like, it's a podcast. So it's about talking. Like, I haven't listened to any of his other ones. People were asking me about it. I'm like, I should stop telling people things I don't know about.
You'll find out.
It's like, can I listen to it? I'm like, yeah. That's the whole goal of it, is get a bunch of people to listen to it.
I would actually love it if they all listened to it.
Please listen to it. Enough people listen to it, and then people will pay me money.
And then maybe I'll pay some people. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Maybe I'll, pay guests and, Jet's Pizza coupons, Maybe that's what we'll work our way. That's the goal.
You big fans of Jet's Pizza?
I like Jet's Pizza. I don't think it's my favorite, but I enjoy it.
I like it. I just think it's overpriced Little Caesars.
That's how I feel.
And they don't have the crazy bread.
It's a little too bready. Because the pizza itself is just really thick.
That Chicago, or that Detroit crust.
Yes.
And they can't say it because Little Caesars trademarked that, I think, or it's an actual crust style.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I'm not a big fan of Little Caesars, but it's cheap as fuck.
I like that crazy bread. Gets me. It's my favorite.
Really? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like. I tell you what, I've been digging lately is Marco's.
Marco's is pretty good. I didn't realize that was a full pizza store. I just thought it was like out of a gas station, like Huck's.
Oh, is that right?
And there's one so close to my house,
like Hunt Brothers.
Yeah, like all the time. Yeah, Hunt Brothers. Huck's is the actual gas station.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I was wrong, but you knew what I meant, so that counts.
Hey, man, they got them in fucking BP and Pendleton. I grew up with Hunt Brothers.
It's good pizza too.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty decent, and and for the price too. I mean, I feel like it's way cheaper than like Papa John's or. And the thing is, I used to have a real problem with Domino's. I mean, if we want to talk about addiction, I mean, I know that sounds like a joke, but I really was addicted. I was addicted to the Domino's two or more for $5.99 deal, where you could get a medium two topping pizza for $6, and you can get you a fucking 8 piece wing for $6.
Their wings are so bad. They used to be better. I worked for Domino's for like 7 years.
Okay,
I quit that job like 8 times, but it was just like, oh hey, you can come back. I quit over the dumbest stuff. Like one day, I was there till rushed. My manager and the closer were folding boxes, and it was the closer's job to stock the boxes underneath.
Okay,
but they told me to do it, and I got all mad about it. And so I was just doing the boxes, and a customer come in and like, hey, John, can you help the customer? I'm like, no, I'm stocking these boxes. One of you guys can do it. And then my manager yelled at me, and I just went off and quit. And then like a week later, he's like, if you're done being a baby, you can come back to work.
Oh. Well, at least he was generous, we'll say. And what made you decide, let's go back. Let's give him another shot?
This is, young, dumb, just easy job to get. I worked there for 7 years. Ended up as like assistant manager for a while, and then they let me manage the store for a couple months. Dude. So they're like, oh, we'll let any idiot 20-year-old run this store.
Dude, this is what I've been looking for, man. This is what I've been looking for. Which Domino's was it in Indiana or was it here?
Yes, in southern Indiana. They just sold them all, but they owned like 16 or 17 Domino's at one point in time. Oh, damn. Okay. So I worked at the Clarksville one. I started at the Floyd Central one. Okay. Floyd Knobs. Worked in New Albany a couple of times. Charlestown was the last store I stopped working at.
Did you have the track? Were you there when they had the tracker?
A little bit of it, yeah. Towards the end.
Okay. I was wondering
it would guarantee 30 minutes and people will get mad. Like, that's just what it says to begin with. Like, it doesn't know that I have one driver in the store and, like, it's going to get there when it gets there.
Right. Do you ever have to, like, give discounts for that shit?
All kinds of stuff. So, like, people like, act like we messed up their food on purpose. I'm like, every time you were nice to me and you complained about it, you get so much more. Yeah. If you were a dick, I'd be like, all right, I don't care. My favorite's like, can I talk to your manager? I'm like, you've been talking to the manager the whole time, and I don't care.
That's like I feel like that's a running joke you'll see where people, like in like comedy scenes, you'll see like, can I talk to your manager? And then the guy just he just walks in a circle, and then he just does like a 180. He's like, oh hey, it's fucking me again.
I've never done that to anybody. I've never even like put them on hold because I knew it'd make me some. I was like, it's not gonna make the situation better. My favorite thing about Domino's is every year in October they get donations for St. Jude's.
Oh really?
And people will not just say no.
Really?
They'll just all kinds of stuff. My favorite one is this dude's like, oh, I play poker for them. And I was like, a simple no would have been just fine. And he's like, excuse me? I was like, oh, that's just fine, sir. No problem.
Wait, so I play poker for them, but I won't donate for St. Jude's?
That's so weird. I'm like, okay.
That's really weird.
I was like, just let me put $1 on there or a roundup or whatever. Like, no. And I get mad too because we'd have contests and I'd try to like win an iPod or whatever they're giving away.
Yeah.
And the worst one would be like, oh, my husband will do it when he gets there. I'm like, your husband's never fucking doing this. I would still ask if I talked to him and they'd be like, no, every time.
Dude, I went through a drive-through. I went through McDonald's this morning to get coffee, and the dude was literally just like, he's like, you want to round up? And he didn't tell me why. He didn't say what the cause was for. He's like, you want to round up? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, fuck it. I don't know what this is for, but okay. It's just 9 cents. Why not?
He's just putting in a bucket for him.
Yeah, and then I started spinning this like tail in my head. I was like, what if he just figured out like Office Space, like how to game the system? He's like creating like a fake charity fundraiser, and he just like presses the fundraiser button to pocket the 8 cents per transaction.
I was just thinking he only did it for cash and just put it in a bucket.
Oh, he's got like an actual change bucket.
My buddy did that at Domino's. Like he would ring up an order. If they paid in cash, he would just add coupons afterwards and then take the difference. And I'm like, it's kind of a victimless crime. He's like, no, he's stealing. I'm like, yeah, but he charged the customers full price, gave them a discount afterwards, and then like, you guys don't pay us enough money.
Right, because they were going to pay that amount regardless. Or you would have just applied the coupon and they would have paid the same amount. So, and Domino's wouldn't have made that money.
And then I don't know what it was about, like...
But he did steal from those people, actually.
I wouldn't steal money, but food?
Yeah.
Well, you're making me work 14 hours, and I made the schedule, but you guys made me do it. But I'm going to eat free food.
Yeah. They didn't give you free food?
No.
I figured at least...
depending on managers and stuff, like every once in a while we'd have like a crew pie or whatnot. But
crew pie?
They have like food cost bonus. So they'll give your food cost is low enough, they'd get a bonus or like pay for your own food.
What? I mean, I guess it's nice that you're getting something, but I mean, when I worked at, I used to work at this restaurant in high school called Taylor's Dairy Bar, and it was just like a little mom and pop, like a little Dairy Queen, you know, like one of those places like Dairy Dough where you walk up to the window, they open it, you tell them what you want, you know, and I mean, literally every person there was allowed to make something for themselves, like to get something to eat, you know, like. Especially some of the people working there were like, you know, they came from like not great homes, and you know, they like just making, and these are teenagers making sure they're fed. You know, like come on, Don, you're a fucking corporation. Like you can spare some fucking dough. You know what I'm saying? Like just bake it and come on.
Now, cheese is their higher cost. Dough's not that expensive.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Jeez, interesting.
No, I remember one time I was working at the Clarksville store just helping out, and like we had some mess ups or whatever. Someone didn't come pick up an order, and I went to go eat it, and they're like, "Hey, man, this guy's like real poor, and so he just takes all the mess up food."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm closing tonight. I'll make whatever I want to eat." He's like, "That's fine." Like, really? I'm like, "If you want to make something, I won't see it."
Yeah. Also, dude, I work at Domino's. I'm the poor one who needs the
like
food.
We're all poor. I was like, he's a delivery driver. If he's making good tips, he's making more than me. Like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, like he can. Like, he's like, how many pizzas can I make? I'm like, I don't care. I was like, you have to make them. You took home 4 pizzas that night. How many kids do you have? He's like, none. I'm like, okay, you're just gonna eat for the rest of the week on pizza? Live your life, man.
That's the fucking dream right there, man. I used to work at Papa John. I worked at Papa John's for like a week. 2 weeks, and everything was going straight, and then I delivered one pizza to a guy who was just a piece of shit.
Yeah,
he was just a huge dick, and I did nothing wrong. I swear to God, like I got that pizza. There's a little sticker that says, "Hey, have it there by then." I had it there by then. Dude was giving me shit for being late, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What insane fantasy are you living right now that this is not on time? And I never showed back up after that. I was like, I don't need this shit.
I worked for Papa John's for about a month. I was going to be a delivery driver, and they wanted me to do all this like in-store stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
And then I asked for 1 weekend off to be in my buddy's wedding, and they never scheduled me again.
Really?
I was like, all right. I just went to go pick up my last paycheck, and they didn't even ask for the uniform or anything.
It's weird how places like that work out sometimes, where they just stop. Like, they don't say you're fired. They want to avoid the confrontation. They just stop scheduling you.
It's like, instead of quiet quitting, it's quiet firing. Like, yeah, we're just gonna not schedule you. And like, I don't know, like restaurants, they just do that stuff. Like, oh, you asked for a day off? Like, fuck you. If you're not gonna be here, we're not gonna. No, none at all. You don't get to work any days this week.
They just quit giving hours.
I was like, okay.
You're right. That's the OG.
I was like, I didn't want to work here anyways. You guys made that decision for me. I've never been fired from a job.
Yeah.
Quit a bunch.
Hell yeah, dude. You quit before they gave you the chance.
I don't think I've got to the point where I was gonna get fired. Really? Papa John's might have been the closest thing, because again, they're like, oh, hey, you have all this experience from Domino's, like you can like be on the phones and make pizzas and do all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'll answer the phone, no problem. I was like, I don't want to do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
One of the last times I worked for Domino's, this dude that got hired at the same time as me, he was supposed to be a delivery driver, but I ended up doing it.
Okay.
And he would get mad, so he would just like come in, and if there's another person in the store with me, he would just leave.
Really?
I got to the point where I told the manager, like, if he does it again, I'm gonna leave. And he did it one last time. I'm like, I'm out, man. He's like, dude, I'm like 2 hours away. So it's not my problem.
Bye.
It's the third time this has happened. I've told you every single time.
Why was he leaving?
He was just mad because he didn't want to work. He didn't want to be like, he wanted to be a delivery driver, but they hired me instead, and they hired him to work in store.
Oh, okay.
He was pissed off about it.
So he's just being a little bitch about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My manager is also mad too, because I managed that Domino's in Charlestown like before him.
Yeah.
And he could still see my manager paying there, and I made like $10 more a week than him. And he just would not let it go. He was so mad about it. I was like, I don't even make that anymore, dude. Like, you're the manager. You won.
Where do you think that guy's at now?
I don't know. Hopefully that Domino's still.
He's
still there, living his best life.
Not getting free food.
Nah, it's new owners. They might get free food now.
Yeah, okay.
They sold them all. They retired.
There we go.
Out of the pizza game for good.
All right, man. Well, I think we're gonna call it an episode, man.
That's cool. Yeah.
This is fucking sick.
Yeah, good time.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome back anytime.
Awesome.
I gotta see how many people I can wrangle up before I start having other like repeats.
Yeah, whatever.
For my 3 fans are like, what the fuck? He's already been on 3 times.
We don't want to hear this. We don't like him. We can't see him. We know he's fat, though. We can hear him breathing.
We just feel it through the mic. Can feel his breathing.
Talks about anime and food. That's all he talks about.
I mean, that's what they expect. I think
good enough
at this point. Yeah. All right, John. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, you too.
And to the audience out there, we'll see you next week.